Welcome back to A Legal Studies Teacher Reads the News. Looking at consumer law today. This is from Michaela Whitburn. Ticket reseller Viagogo fined $7 million for misleading consumers. This is helpful for the consumer law option for HSC legal studies students. It's an example of a case that you can refer to and an example of a bunch of dot points and themes. Let's start and then we'll talk about it. Ticket seller Viagogo has been fined $7 million after the federal court found it misled consumers in Google advertisements and on its website by suggesting it was an official seller affiliated with entertainment and sporting events. So straight up, we're looking over here, regulation of marketing and advertising, statutory protection. So what's happening here? We are ensuring consumers are not misled. And so it's a question of compliance and non-compliance. You're not allowed to mislead consumers or misrepresent who you are. In a decision in April last year, Federal Court Justice Stephen Burley found Viagogo, which resold tickets to events including Queen and Adam Lambert, the Book of Mormon musical, the Australian Open tennis tournament, and Ashes cricket matches, had not made it clear it was not an authorised ticket vendor. So if we go here, this will be Federal Court of Australia, and we're looking at the ACCC v Viagogo 2019 for those playing at home or referring to this in their HSC response. Catchwords: consumer law, misleading or deceptive conduct, contravention of section 18, 29.1 and or 34 of the Australian Consumer Law 2010, part price representation in contravention of section 48, where respondent represented that it was an authorised or official seller when it was not, where respondent made representations as to number of tickets remaining, available for sale, etc. We're going to look at that in the next section. Here's the legislation it refers to. There we go. 4 different breaches of legislation. And then the cases cited in order to prove, look at that, a whole bunch there. So that's great stuff. Looking at judgments.fedcourt.gov.au, and you're looking for the Federal Court of Australia, Viagogo. So they've been charged last April, and now the justice is basically working out how much they should pay. It was also not clear to consumers that booking fees of up to 28% of the ticket price applied on top of advertised prices. 28%. Or that claims about the scarcity of tickets remaining for an event did not refer to the venue as a whole, but only to tickets available through the reseller's website. In other words, this dodgy ads, they're basically saying you need to buy these inflated tickets because there's almost none left, when actually there might have been a whole bunch left. It's Viagogo that didn't have many left. The court found Viagogo had suggested it was an official ticket seller by using the phrase "buy now, Viagogo official site" in sponsored advertisements on Google that directed consumers to the Switzerland-based, always the Swiss, reseller's Australian website, which was its virtual shopfront in Australia. The company has since made changes to its website, and it dropped the word official from Google advertisements in December 2017. Australian Consumer Competition and Consumer Commission Chairman Rod Sims said last year that Viagogo's behaviour was very widespread and affected a lot of people. I, for one, know somebody that purchased some tickets at a much higher rate because they were unaware of this. The consumer watchdog had received thousands of complaints about the ticket reseller in recent years and launched federal court proceedings in 2017 over conduct between May 1st and June 26th that year. So this is the consumer watchdog offering redress and acting as a legal mechanism in achieving justice for consumers. In decision on penalties on Friday, Justice Burley ordered Viagogo to pay a total of $7 million for 4 separate breaches of Australian consumer law. So there they are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Covering representations about the nature of its services, quantity of tickets available, and its pricing. He also ordered Viagogo to pay the ACCC's legal costs. Justice Burley said Viagogo had misrepresented that consumers could purchase official, not resold tickets when it was far from an authorised vendor of tickets. This was a very serious misrepresentation because it fundamentally misled consumers as to the nature of Viagogo's business in order to attract consumers, he said. Viagogo was not an official seller, but provided a platform for third parties to sell tickets second-hand. So it's not even purchasing the tickets itself. It is a forum where people who have purchased tickets and are not going to the concert go and use that site so that other people can buy them secondhand. So it's almost like Uber for driving and Uber for eats. Consumers drawn in by the misleading Google advertisement were exposed to further misleading conduct on the website, he said. The ACCC had submitted the penalty should be between 12.1 and 13.4 million, while Viagogo contended it should be no more than 3. Of course they would. Justice Burley said it was also appropriate to grant an injunction restraining Viagogo from engaging in the impugned conduct. As in other words, stop it. And order Viagogo to participate in a compliance program. Viagogo submitted confidential information to the court about the number of clicks it had received on those advertisements and its worldwide and Australian profits in the 2017 calendar year, all of which was redacted in the publicly available judgment of the court. And as I said, there's the judgment. Remember this, all of these cases, because of the transparency of our court system, are available to you. You can literally just click. There's the Word document. Download it. There it is. All there, including who was there, including who it was between, what the court orders, a nice little example here of the content of what's happening, the consideration, and it's also clickable. So you can actually click on the links and go down to it. So for example, we want to look at conclusions and disposition. Boom, there we go. And this is Justice Burley saying, in relation to this, they have done this, 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 and this. Okay, so very helpful. And there's Justice Burley. I direct the parties confer and endeavour to agree on a timetable for further steps, including the proposal of orders for relief that followed from these reasons, together with a timetable for submissions in relation to this question. And that's following the concept of getting everything sorted out and complying with stuff. So very helpful there. No excuse for someone who's interested or who is studying and wants to think about certain cases, getting enough information about what the case is about and thinking through how it relates to the law. So if I'm sitting here thinking through consumers and themes, well, this is an example of non-compliance with consumer law. It's about laws relating to consumers as a reflection of changing values and ethical standards and the effectiveness of legal and non-legal measures, particularly legal measures in achieving justice for consumers. And we're talking about advertising here. We're also talking about the role of tribunals and courts, obviously, and marketing innovations. So here's a company that's actually not buying tickets and reselling them. It's just a forum for people who have already bought the tickets to use to sell to other people. So it's certainly a marketing innovation when it comes to selling and making money off concerts and events. In this case, doing it dodgily by pretending that you are official. So a very helpful little article from Michaela Whitburn. Thank you, and great to refer to for a whole bunch of different themes and challenges about consumer law in your HSC.